North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un, and his wife attended a rare K-pop concert of South Korean performers, and it was held in North Korea's capital, Pyongyang. Joining us now, retired Commander Kirk Lippold, former U.S.S. Cole commander. I'm inclined to ask, does all this kumbaya signify a little progress between North and South and America and China, everybody getting together? I suspect you don't believe that.
Well, good morning, Stuart, and I don't believe it, or I'll take it with a large grain of salt, let's put it that way. Because the bottom line is, although this opening is occurring and Kim Jong-un is clearly making the trip to China, he is now visiting South Korea, he is still continuing every single day to march forward to work on his nuclear weapons, their miniaturization, and the ballistic missile technology that threatens the United States. So until we see a pause there, the reality of it is every minute that we're not investing in actually meeting sooner rather than later is time wasted.
But when the actual meeting does take place between President Trump and Kim Jong-un, when it actually does take place, that will be extremely important. Because I don't think Kim Jong-un knows what to make of President Trump. I mean, for the first time, he's got an American president who he cannot predict what he'll do.
I think it works in two ways. Number one, he feels like he's getting legitimacy on the international stage by meeting with the President of the United States in an unprecedented meeting. By the same token, President Trump is holding a meeting with a country's leader that is threatening the United States with the offensive use of nuclear weapons. And when you're looking at a potential conflict where you may see a nuclear weapon detonation, whether it occurs over there or, God forbid, over here, I think that you have to exercise every single option in the diplomatic world first. We are doing that, but nonetheless, Secretary Mattis is still preparing for that worst-case cause, which is why these exercises are continuing to go forward with the South Koreans and the U.S.
But do you actually believe that the North Koreans would set off, so to speak, a nuclear explosion, either on the Korean Peninsula or over here or in the Pacific? Do you think they would actually do that? Because there is this thing, mutually assured destruction. They do that, and we can knock them out.
Well, mutually assured destruction is a whole different argument. I, for one, do not believe in that concept. And the reality is, if Kim Jong-un were to detonate one, he knows that his regime would cease to exist. Nonetheless, we cannot afford to allow him to keep these weapons if he develops them to a point where they're deliverable to the United States and threaten us. So we have to work toward that end, and we have to make sure that he does not get put into a position where he feels like he has no choice to preserve what may be left of his regime by detonating one. So create the conditions to denuclearize without creating the conditions for a conflict to occur.
As the former commander of an American warship, can you tell us that we do have the firepower near the Korean Peninsula right now to knock out any missile that could be fired by the North Koreans? Can we do it?
I think that it would be challenging at best. I think that you have to look across the full spectrum of what's available both for the United States and our allies, especially South Korea and Japan, and what they can bring to bear. Could we shoot down every single missile? Probably not. Could we shoot down the vast majority of them? Yes. But then the consequences after that would occur because he would want to unleash everything possible in order to start the conflict so that he could try and preserve, like I said, his country's existence. That would come to an end very quickly, though.
You don't actually think we'd get to that point, do you?
I'm hoping we don't. I'm hoping that we make all the preparations to do so, but by the same token, let diplomacy work till the end. It's my belief China is key to this. China, I also believe, will walk our nation to the brink of a nuclear conflict before they finally told North Korea, you must give up those weapons, and then we would negotiate what the status quo is going to be in the future for the Korean Peninsula.
Strong stuff. Commander Lippold, thank you so much for joining us, sir. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.